Once you've created a sketch or feature, that doesn't mean that it's set in stone or permanent. You can always go back and edit the geometry once it's placed. New users often tend to delete features and recreate them from scratch when they need to make changes, but that's rarely necessary, so long as you keep the part structure in mind. Let me show you what I mean. If I decided that I want to change the shape of this geometry, the first thing I need to do is remember that the shape of a feature is controlled by its sketch. I'll click the plus sign next to the pinhead's extrude and edit the sketch nested under it by either right-clicking on it and selecting Edit Sketch, or by simply double-clicking the icon next to the text. This brings me back into sketch mode, where I can modify any of the dimensions or constraints. I'll add 2 lines so the top of the polygon meets at a single point. But when I exit the sketch, notice that the extrude remains unchanged. This is because when I extruded the shape, I only selected the polygon profile, so while the lines were drawn on the polygon sketch, they aren't part of the extrude. I could further edit the sketch to more directly change the polygon profile, but the easier method of updating at this point is to simply edit the extrude feature itself. I can do this by either right-clicking the feature in the browser and selecting Edit Feature, or just like when editing a sketch, by double-clicking the feature's icon. I want to add the new geometry to the profile section, so I'll make sure it's highlighted. And now, notice that the lines I sketched form a profile highlight when I hover over them. Inventor allows you to select or deselect as many closed profiles as you'd like. So, I'll click on the highlighted geometry to extrude the profile. When I do, the preview updates and new geometry is added. If you ever make a selection that you didn't intend, or need to remove a profile from your selection set, you can do so by holding down the Shift key and then hovering over and clicking the profile you want to remove. I'll make sure all the profiles I want are selected and click OK to accept the changes. As you can see, you need to have a firm handle on where changes need to be made in order to make good edits. A change to either the sketch or feature alone may not get you the results you want. I'll undo these changes. And next want to make some more permanent changes to the cylindrical extrude. I want to add this pin to an assembly later, so I need to match its dimensions to those I just received concerning the hole it will be placed in. The first change that I need to make then is to change the diameter of the sketch. Since I just need to change an existing dimension in the sketch and not add or remove any geometry, I can use a different method to make this edit. I'll select the cylinder in the graphics area, and in the shortcut menu that appears, you can see that I have options to edit the extrude, edit the sketch, share the sketch, or make the sketch visible. This menu is a great way to intuitively make edits, since you just need to select the geometry you want to change. But the option I want to use for now is Make Sketch Visible. I'll select it, and the sketch and its dimension appear in the graphics area. To update the dimension then, I just need to double-click it and change its value. I'll use 20 millimeters for now. I now need to update the feature to use the new dimension, so I'll go to the Quick Access toolbar at the top and click the Local Update icon. The geometry updates, so I'll hide the sketch the same way I showed it. Then click the geometry once more, and this time select Edit Feature. I'll change the length of the feature to 110 millimeters. And it looks good, so I'll click OK. I'm happy with the changes to the post, but now the pinhead looks oversized. So I'll select it in the graphics area, show the sketch, and change the diameter to 40 millimeters. I'll update the part so the model updates, hide the sketch, and then edit the extrusion to distance so that it looks more like a bolt. I'll set the length to be 20 millimeters and exit the feature. The pin is now done, and in the next section, I'm going to walk through building a more complicated bracket part with some common but slightly more advanced tools and techniques.